Scene 3, and go.
Ahoy there, men. What have we here?
Could it be treasure, Captain?
Aye, matey. 'Tis the one sunken treasure now reared high and dry on the beach.
'Tis where it says my name ain't Pete the Pirate.
Pete the Pirate. Could he be?
Aye, matey. 'Tis the pirate who captured my bonny bride.
Help, oh, Captain. Save me.
At least try to act natural, Amy.
Help, oh, Captain. Save me.
Haha, you mean she was your bride, now she's sure to be bait for the sharks at high tide.
Oh, Joe, could I be one of the sharks, please?
No, you cannot be one of the sharks, Amy. You're the captain's bride.
But I hate being tied up like a helpless turtle. Why can't Meg be the one to walk the plank?
Because Meg's the oldest, so she has to be the captain. Let's try it again. And go.
Ahoy there, men. What have we here?
Could it be treasure, Captain?
Aye, matey. 'Tis the one sunken treasure.
Now reared high and dry on the beach.
Now reared high and dry on the beach.
'Tis where it stays where my name ain't Pete the Pirate.
Parrot needs a parrot. Can I be the parrot?
No, you cannot be the parrot.
Pete the Pirate. Could he be?
Aye, matey. 'Tis the pirate who captured my bonny bride.
You cannot be the parrot.
That's not funny, Amy. Say your line.
That's not funny, Amy.
Stop it, Amy.
Stop it, Amy.
Stop it, Amy. You're ruining my play.
Now what is this commotion about this time? Little girls playing pirate. How dreadful.
Did you hear our play at March?
If a play is what you call that rambunctious nonsense, then yes, I heard it. Now, I came over to see
What
if...
did you think of our acting, Aunt March?
Don't interrupt your elders, young lady. It's not proper. I'm not interested in your acting. I'm interested in speaking with your mother. Is she home?
What about me? I was damsel in a dress.
It's in distress, dearie. Try and improve your vocabulary.
Girls, playtime's over. Your mother'll be home soon. Oh, and March. Pleasant to see you here Christmas Eve. Surprising, too. Are you here to see Marmee?
What other reason would there be? Now, when do you expect her to be home?
Presently. Should be here any moment. And how might Mrs. March oblige you?
Well, I thought it appropriate in this holiday season to inform her of an opportunity to give her daughters the gift of responsibility and grooming and etiquette.
I see. Girls, take off your mustaches. Your mother will be home soon. And I brought the basket for your presents. Gather them so you can surprise her.
In this chair.
An opportunity for the girls. That's very nice of you, Aunt March.
Yes, well...
Aunt March, I wrote a poem for Mother. With plays and with music, with crafts and with art, how can we show Marmee the love of our hearts? To one who does care for us and the poor, we say Merry Christmas, our mother we adore.
Sentimental.
What about this drawing I drew for Marmee? And I can't wait for her to hear the sonnet I wrote for her.
Wonderful.
Oh, girls, you can organize them in the basket with the scarf that Meg made.
Oh, just in time, Marmee!
Marmee!
Merry Christmas, girls. Oh, Aunt March. So wonderful to see you here.
We've been waiting and waiting for you to get home.
I know I'm late, but the Hummels have just added a new member to their family. A healthy, bouncing baby boy.
Oh, that's lovely, Marmee.
Open your presents.
Oh, what a lovely basket. I can always recognize Hannah's handiwork. But dears, presents can wait. I need to speak with your Aunt March first. When you're all done cleaning up the room, I have a basket of my own. Hannah, could you fetch it? Sorry, Aunt March, about all the mess. To what do we owe this pleasure? Will you be staying with us for Christmas?
No, thank you, Abigail. I have a proposal to offer and then I must return home. I'll get straight to the point. As I'm getting older, I find it harder and harder to assure that my house stays in pristine condition. Therefore, I need a companion to help me care for my estate at Plumfield. And your daughters are in need of refining.
I see. That's very thoughtful of you. What ways would my daughters be refined as a companion to you?
Oh, just the sort of thing normal girls should be trained up in. Cleaning rooms, cleaning dishes, reading to their aunt.
I see. Do you have a particular daughter in mind?
Well, since she's the eldest, Meg, of course.
Oh, I do need Meg here, Aunt March. She helps take care of the other girls and is currently helping Beth with her studies.
Well, then, if you can't be spared, Josephine would be the obvious replacement. She needs all the help she can get becoming a lady. And I should mention the position of companionship would include payment for her services.
Oh, thank you truly, Aunt March, but do you think this is necessary? The girls are so young and we are not in need of charity.
Good heavens, this has nothing to do with charity. I am here to help you redeem this family's dignity.
Now, Aunt March, our family
Your
is...
daughters need a chance to marry well. With their father having squandered the family fortune on reckless living and tarnished the family name by educating those freedmen's children, their only chance to secure a good future is to have a proper upbringing and to marry well.
Aunt March, my husband, your nephew, is a good man. I should be proud if my daughters marry men who value others over comforts. Yet I do see the need for Joe to care for family and grown patients.
I'm glad you see some profit in my offer. You may send Joe over in the new year. I will see myself out.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
Yes.
Now, girls, I have a Christmas gift for you. I must go get it first. Here it is. My dearest family, I am well and safe. Winter is a difficult time for all of us so far away at war. How I wish I could be home for Christmas. Yet, in my absence, I hereby enclose the instructions on the distribution of this year's Christmas presents to my little women. For Amy, special vellum for your drawings, as Marmee writes that paper supplies are scarce. Be patient, my little artist. Take your time, and make every little brushstroke count. For Beth, my budding musician, please accept my reading glasses to help you distinguish between the sharps and flats as you practice on the piano every day. Remember that practice makes perfect. And for Joe, my whimsical writer of plays and stories, I offer you my pen and ink to go with it. Try not to turn your fingers black. I find it helps to use the blotter. And for Meg, my eldest and keeper of the memories I am missing, I ask that you take my scrapbook and fill it in my absence. I miss you all so much. A year seems a very long time to wait before I see you again. But remember that while we wait, we may all work so that these hard days may not be wasted. Until then, I remain your faithful father and devoted husband. Oh, my little ones, it's Christmas Eve. Father wouldn't want us to be sad now. Beth, play us a Christmas carol. Let's see how well those new glasses work.
I'm going to write Father a nice long letter, thanking him for the pen and ink.
And I'm going to draw him a picture of the first Christmas.
The first Christmas. Let's see. You'll need an angel and a star.
And a camel.
And once you're finished, I'll add it as the first entry in Father's scrapbook.
Sing, Marmee.
Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents.
It's so dreadful to be poor.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have lots of pretty things and other girls to have nothing at all.
We have Mother and Father and each other anyhow. We haven't got Father and shall not have him for a long time.
You know the reason Marmee proposed not having any presents this Christmas was because it's going to be a long, hard winter for everyone. And our men are suffering so in the army. We can't do much, but we can make our little sacrifices, and we ought to do it gladly.
But I don't think the little we could spend would do much good. We each only have $1 from our great Aunt March, and I don't think the army would be helped much by us giving that. I don't expect anything from Mother or you, but I do want a copy of Shakespeare's Macbeth for myself. I've wanted it for so long.
I plan on spending mine on new music.
I should get a new complete set of drawing pencils.
But Mother didn't say anything about our money. Let's each buy what we want. We've all worked hard enough to earn it.
I know I do. Teaching those dreadful king children nearly all day.
You don't have nearly half such a hard time as I do. How would you like to be shut up for hours with Aunt March? She is never satisfied. Josephine! Josephine! Did you wash the teacups? What about the teaspoons? Come and read Belsham to me. The bore.
Washing dishes and keeping a house clean is the worst thing in the world. My hands get so stiff I can't practice.
At least you don't have to go to school with all those stuck-up girls who laugh at your clothes and insult your nose if it isn't perfect and label your father if he isn't rich.
If you mean libel your father, I'd say so. And not talk about label as if father were a pickle bottle.
Oh, well, I know what I mean. You shouldn't be so satirical about it. It's proper to use good words.
Don't peck at one another. Oh, Joe, I wish we had the money Papa lost when we were little. How happy we'd be.
But you said the other day you thought we were happier than the King children, for they're always fighting and fretting despite all their money.
So I did, Beth. Though we do have to work, we make fun for ourselves.
We are a jolly set.
Don't whistle, Joe. It's so boyish.
That's why I do it.
Well, I detest rude, unladylike girls.
And I hate affected niminy-piminy chits.
Ha-em! Birds in their nest should agree.
Really, Joe, you're old enough to stop acting like such a tomboy. You're so tall and put your hair up. You should remember you're a young lady.
I am no kind of lady. I hate to think that I have to grow up and learn to be prim and proper. Oh, it's bad enough I like boys' books and games and manners. I can't get over my disappointment of not being a boy. And it's worse than ever now, for I'm dying to go off and fight with Papa.
Poor Joe, but it can't be helped. So you must be content with making your name boyish and playing brother to us girls.
As for you, Amy, you're altogether too particular and prim. Your airs are funny now, but you'll grow up an affected little goose if you don't take care. Your manners are nice when you're not really trying to be elegant, but your absurd words are as bad as Joe's slang.
If Joe is a tomboy and Amy's a goose, what does that make me?
You're a dear, nothing else.
Just our little mouse.
Tea time, girls.
Do you see her coming yet, Amy?
No, but I see a face in the Lawrence house.
Where?
Look, it's that boy again.
Don't point, Joe. You'll think you're waving at him.
I feel so sorry for that poor young man. All shut up in that house with an ogre for grandfather.
Imagine giving up Europe to live with an awful old man.
I would be terrified to live with him.
I wouldn't mind living in such a fine house and having such fine things.
I bet you he's hiding deep, dark secrets.
Come away from the window, girls. Tain't ladylike to stare at strangers.
He won't be a stranger for long. He looks like a capital fellow, and I'm going to get acquainted. Mother always said neighbors should be neighborly.
Are these your mother's slippers here under the chair?
They're quite worn out. Marmee must have a new pair.
I was going to buy her some with my $1.
No, I shall.
I'm the eldest.
Well, I'm the man of the family now that father is gone. I shall buy the slippers.
I'll tell you what we'll do. How about we each get her something for Christmas and get nothing for ourselves?
Oh. Beth, that's so like you. What a good idea.
What shall we get her?
Well, let her think that we're each getting something for ourselves, and then we can surprise her. We must go shopping, Meg. There's lots to do for our play for Christmas night.
I don't see how you can write and act such splendid things, Joe. You're a regular Shakespeare.
Not quite. I do think The Witch's Curse, an operatic tragedy, is rather clever, but I should like to try Macbeth. Is that a dagger I see before me?
No, it's Marmie's umbrella.
Hello, girls. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Mom, your hands are freezing.
Well, you should see the poor people standing outside the soup kitchen in this bitter cold. And the Hummels are down to their last stick of firewood. How's your cold, Beth?
Better.
Were the children better behaved, Meg? Oh, Joe, you look tired to death. Come, hug me, baby girl. I have a treat for you all after tea.
A letter? A letter! 3 cheers for father!
A nice long letter. He's well, sends all sorts of loving wishes for Christmas, and a special message to you girls.
Hurry up, Amy. Don't stop to perk your little finger.
Will the war ever end?
Will we ever see him again?
This is the 3rd Christmas without him.
Oh, of course we'll see him again, dears. But we mustn't ask for him back a moment sooner than he can be spared. Now, let's listen. Give them all my dear love and a kiss. Tell them I think of them by day, pray for them by night, and find my best comfort in their affections at all times. Remind them to always be loving children to you, do their duty faithfully, fight their bosom enemies bravely, and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women.
Oh, I miss him so much, it hurts.
I know you do, dear. Beth, let us sing Silent Night. Always been one of your father's favorite Christmas carols.
I'm busy rewriting Rodrigo's ending for Hagar the Witch. What is it?
It's nearly time for Mrs. Gardner's New Year's Eve dance. Put your book away.
Christopher Columbus! It's 7 o'clock. I still need to curl your hair.
Oh, Joe, I still don't see why we can't go.
You are too little.
I'm not too little. Please, Joe, could we go with you?
I'm glad I don't have to go and see all those frightening people and think of things to say.
Oh, nonsense, Beth. Joe, could you please just ask Mrs. Gardner if we could come too?
No.
Joe, your dress is still torn, and the burn shows badly.
Oh, I know.
Oh, just keep your backside to the wall. The front is all right. Now, Joe, remember, don't shake hands with anybody. It's not the fashion anymore.
Oh, my gloves are spoiled with lemonade. I shall have to go without.
You must have gloves or I won't go. Gloves are more important than anything else.
Well, why don't each of you wear a good one and carry a bad one?
But our hands are bigger than mine and they'll stretch my gloves terribly.
Then I'll go without it. I don't care what people say.
Fine, just take it. Only don't stain it. And do behave nicely, Joe. Don't say Christopher Columbus or put your hands behind your back or stare. Will you?
Don't worry about me. I'll be prim and proper. Now, let's worry about your hair.
Be careful.
I am. Just stay still.
Aren't they to smoke like that?
Oh, it's just the dampness drying.
What a strange smell. It smells like burning feathers.
And soon you'll have a cloud of little ringlets.
Just make his hair look like the latest fashion.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, well, you could thank me by telling me all about Miss Gardner's beau and how ridiculously rich he is. Oh, when I'm older, I'm marrying someone so ridiculously rich.
Oh, you'll have to wait your turn. First will be Meg, then Joe.
You can skip over me in the line of succession. I have no intention of ever getting married.
Oh no, Meg isn't gonna get engaged and swept away soon, is she?
Not likely with Joe's help.
Isn't it time we should be going?
Oh, Joe, please, I still don't understand why we can't go. We'll have nothing to do here. Could we please come with you?
You're weeks behind in arithmetic. You need to catch up. However are you going to handle the household accounts for your ridiculously rich husband someday?
Never mind that, dear hearts. Have a wonderful time. Mind your manners and come home promptly at 11 when I send Hannah to come get you.
Yes, Marmee.
You'll be sorry for this so much!
Fiddlesticks! Oh, Christopher Columbus! I didn't know there was anyone in here. I'm sorry.
Stay, if you'd like.
I won't disturb you?
Not a bit. Only came here because I don't know too many people.
So did I. Mr. Lawrence, isn't it?
You needn't go away, Miss March, unless you'd rather.
I'm not Miss March, only Joe.
And I'm not Mr. Lawrence, only Laurie.
Laurie Lawrence? That's an odd name.
Well, my first name's Theodore, but the fellas call me Dora, so I don't like it. I make them say Laurie instead.
I hate my name, too. I wish I would say Joe instead of Josephine.
Do you like to dance, Miss Joe?
Oh, I like it well enough if there's plenty of room, but in a small space like this, I'm sure to tread on somebody's toes or do something dreadful. What about you? Don't you like to dance?
Sometimes. I've been abroad in Europe for a good many years now. I'm not quite sure how to do it here.
Abroad? In Europe? Oh, tell me about it. I love to hear people describe their travels. Have you ever been to Paris?
We spent last winter there.
Do you speak French?
In school, we weren't allowed to speak anything else.
Do say some. I can read it, but can't pronounce it.
Que no a cette journée, demoiselle les pantoufles jolies.
How nicely you do it. Let me see. You said, who is the nice lady in the pretty slippers, didn't you?
Oui, mademoiselle.
That's my sister Margaret. Do you think she's pretty?
Mais oui, très belle. And that's John Brooke, who's the pleasure with dancing with your beautiful sister.
I suppose he's helping you prepare for college soon.
Not for a year or two. Not till I'm 18 anyways.
Aren't you but 16?
17, next month.
Oh, how I wish I were going to college. You don't look as if you like the idea.
I hate it, but grandfather insists I go to Harvard.
And what would you rather like?
To live in Italy, to enjoy myself in my own ways.
Actually, I'm going to Europe. Well, at least I hope I am. My great Aunt March says she'll go one of these days and wants to take me with her because I work as her companion. I have to read to her for hours on end, but fortunately she falls asleep.
Oh, you should be an actress. You do splendid impersonations.
I'm going to be a writer and pursue a career on the stage. That's a splendid polka. Why don't you go and try it?
I'll come if you do too.
Oh no, I can't. I promised Meg I wouldn't because...
Because what?
You won't tell?
Never.
Well, I have a bad trick of standing before the fire and I scorched this one.
Never mind that. We can have grandly in here and no one will see us. Follow my lead.
Ow! Ow! Meg, what happened?
I sprained my ankle.
I'm not surprised in those shoes.
It aches so. I don't see how I'll manage to walk home.
Oh, Meg. I'm so sorry. I'm such a clumsy ox. I can't believe I've stepped on your toes.
John Brooke, call for the carriage and fetch for a footman.
Oh, but so early. You can't mean to go home yet.
Oh, I always go home early. I do, truly. Please let me take you home. It's all on the way. What are neighbors for, I ask you?
Of course. Meg, this is our neighbor, Mr. Lawrence's grandson, Theodore. I mean, Laurie.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Laurie. Thank you so much for offering your assistance.
Good night, Meg. I do hope your ankle is soon healed.
Please don't worry, Mr. Brooke. It was foolish of me to wear those high heels.
Don't fall yourself to spare my feelings. I only hope you'll let me redeem my worth as a dance partner one day.
Oh, silly old me.
But Charlie, you'll allow me the pleasure of dancing with you again.
Never, not ever. I mean to say, I would be ever so pleased to see you again. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, good night, Mr. Brooke. I had a delightful time.
Good night. Oh, but you dropped.
Mrs. March, the girls are home.
Oh, whatever happened? You're home so early.
Meg has injured herself again.
Oh, dear. Sit down. Where does it hurt?
Did you get to ride in Mr. Lawrence's carriage?
Everything exciting happens to Meg. Are you still sulking?
Was the dance lovely, Joe?
Oh, capital.
Oh, dear, your face is flushed, but your hand is freezing.
Oh, I must have dropped my glove.
Hannah, will you take Meg up to bed? She'll need an extra blanket to keep warm, and I'll be up in a moment.
Indeed, Mom.
Beth, have you seen my manuscript?
No.
I can't seem to find it. Amy, you've got it.
No, I don't.
Well, you know where it is then.
Scold me as much as you'd like, but you'll never see your silly old book again.
Why not?
Because I burned it?
What? My little book I was so fond of and worked over and meant to finish before Father got home? Have you really burned it?
I told you I'd make you pay, Miss Josephine!
I hate you! No, Joe, you don't hate her. She's your sister.
Girls, come. It is time for Beth. Bed. Beth, Amy. Joe, you have every right to be angry with her, but don't let the sun go down on your anger. Forgive her, and you can begin your book again tomorrow.
I can never write again, and I can never forgive her.
Hush now. You will see things differently in the morning.
Marmee, I dropped a stitch. Why do girls have to do this? It's so hard.
I find it a very pleasant way to pass the time.
Pardon me, Mum. There's a couple of young gentlemen here to see Miss Meg and Miss Josephine.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. Show them in.
Indeed. Gentlemen, you can come through.
Hello. John Brooke, ma'am. I came to inquire about the anchor your daughter hurt at the gardener's estate last night.
Oh, Mr. Brooke, thank you. It was so gracious of you to let them ride home in your carriage.
Actually, the carriage was my idea. Hello, I'm Theodore Lawrence, and I live across the street with my grandfather. And here is my tutor, John Brooke.
Oh, but of course, Meg, I don't want you to have to stay here.
Oh, well, that sounds capital. May I go skating with Laurie? Marmee, please?
Yes, you may.
Me too? Hi, my name's Amelia Curtis March, but you can call me Amy, and I'll call you Laurie.
Marmee.
Amy, not today. Let's go find Beth and see if she can help us with our studies.
Come on, Laurie. Let's go. Oh, are you going to come too, Mr. Brooke?
No, but you may use my skates as I won't be needing them, because I would much rather visit with your sister. I brought these flowers to help you feel better.
Why, thank you, Mr. Brooke. They really are quite lovely.
I also brought you this book of my favorite poetry.
Why, thank you. Oh, but it's in German.
You don't speak German?
Not very well. My father, who helped me, is away, and I don't get along very well on my own.
I can help you. Here's a teacher who loves to teach. Just repeat after me. Wo wäre einst des Wandermuten?
Wo wird einst des Wandermüten?
Letzte Rustate sein.
Letzte Rustate sein.
Very good.
Amy, where are you off to?
Well, Joe said that I could go skating next time she went.
But you are very naughty, and you can't expect her to forgive you so soon. Well, I guess she might. If you catch her at the right moment, go after them. Oh, but don't say anything until she's got good-natured with Laurie.
I won't!
You're an excellent tutor, Mr. Brooke. I only wish I loved to teach as much as you do. I'd really make a much better governess.
It's quite easy with a student as good as Laurie. I should be sad to lose him next year.
Going to college, I suppose?
Yes, he is ready. And as soon as he's gone, I will turn soldier. I am needed.
Well, I'm glad for that. I think every young man should want to go, though it is hard for the mothers and sisters to stay behind.
I have neither. No friend to care whether I'll ever die.
Laurie and his grandfather would care a great deal, and we should all be very sorry if any harm should happen to you.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Oh, I have something very interesting to tell you.
What's your news? Let's hear it.
It's a secret. If I tell you mine, you must tell me yours.
I don't have any.
Of course you have. Everyone does.
Promise to tell anyone?
Not a soul.
Well, I sent out 2 stories for the Concord Journal. I was working on a third until Amy. Anyway, I should hear back from the editor by next week.
Well, hurrah for Miss Josephine March, a born family celebrity.
Oh, it won't come to much, I dare say, but I couldn't rest till I tried. What's your secret?
Well, I might get in trouble for telling you this, but I promise not to, so I will. I know where Meg's glove is.
Is that all?
Just wait till you find out where it is.
Well then?
Mr. Brooke has it.
Well, how do you know?
I saw John pick it up, kiss it, and shove it in his pocket. Isn't that romantic?
No, it's disgusting.
You weren't going to tell anyone.
I didn't promise.
It was understood.
Oh, I won't. But I wish you hadn't told me.
I thought you'd be pleased.
The idea of anyone falling in love with Meg and coming to take her away.
You'll feel better when someone falls in love with you and takes you away.
I'd like to see anyone try.
So should I.
Joe, wait for me! I want to go skating with you and that Laurie boy!
Ignore her. Hurry up before she catches us.
Shame on you, Miss Josephine
Well,
March.
I'm not waiting around to... Amy! Live? Are you sure she's safe?
Oh, she's quite safe, dear. She didn't even take cold. You were so sensible in wrapping her up and getting her home quickly.
Laurie did it all. I refused to wait for her. Marmee, if she should die, it would be my fault. It's my terrible temper.
Oh, you think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
Yours, Mother? Well, you're never angry.
Oh, I'm angry nearly every day of my life. I've just learned not to show it.
How do you learn the patience to keep still?
With help from my mother and your father, whose patience and hope comforted me.
I miss Father.
Yes, so do I.
Well, how can I do it? Go on without him here, trying to control my temper and missing him so?
Learn to feel the strength and tenderness of your heavenly Father. Go to God with all your little cares, hopes, sins, and sorrows, just as you come to your mother.
I will, Marmee.
Now, go warm Amy with a tender smile and a hug.
February is the most disagreeable month in the whole year.
That's the reason I was born in it.
If something wonderful should happen, we ought to think it a delightful month.
Nothing wonderful ever happens in this family.
My heavens, how blue we all are.
What a carriage ride. I'd like some fresh air to freshen my wits. Come, Joe. And Beth. You'll come too. And Amy, I'll let you sit up front with me and the driver.
Yes, please.
And Meg.
Much obliged, but I'm busy.
Sourpuss. Is there anything you'd like for us to do while we're out, Madam Mother?
No, thank you.
Pardon me, Mum. Miss Josephine, I just had you sign for this cashier's check addressed to you.
Joe!
But, Madam, the other's one of them horrid telegram things.
Oh.
Mrs. March, your husband is very ill. Come at once.
I shall go at once, for I fear it may be too late.
Don't waste any time crying, Ma'am. I'll get your things together. You'll be on the next train.
She's right. There's no time for tears now.
Marmee, do you really
Be calm, girls, and let me think. Laurie,
Here, ma'am. I'll do anything. Go anywhere.
send a telegram saying I will come. A train leaves this evening. I will take that. Joe, get me pen and paper. I need you to deliver this letter to Aunt March and wait there for a reply. On the way back, please stop at the pharmacy.
Yes, Marmee.
Hannah, would you ask Mr. Lawrence's cook for a couple bottles of old wine?
Yes, Mom.
Amy, Beth, go get my trunk. Meg, you can help me collect my things.
Aunt March! Aunt March! Aunt March!
What is it, Josephine? What is this? What have I always said? How many times have I told you it was absurd for your father to join the army? I predicted no good would come out of it. I hate to say it about my own flesh and blood, but your father's an idiot, a child, and your mother was a fool for marrying him in the first place.
My father has more worldly wisdom in his little finger than all the emperors in China and Japan put together. And Marmee is good and kind and incredibly brave and selfless. We don't need your money or your advice. Thank you for your time.
Put the trunk by the front door, dears.
This is all packed and ready. I can't think of anything else we forgot.
The household ledger.
Don't worry about us. Hannah's here to help us.
Beth, would you look in on the Hummels for me while I'm gone? The baby was running a fever yesterday.
I will, Marmee.
Where's Joe? It's almost 6 o'clock.
Still coaxing the cost of a railway ticket out of Aunt March.
Grandfather sends 2 bottles of his best wines for Sergeant March.
Yes, and the elder Mr. Lawrence commissioned me in Washington, so I came to offer myself as an escort to your mother.
Oh, John, you're all so kind. It will be such a relief to know you're there with Mother and Father.
Thank you. That is so kind of you.
Oh, we wouldn't let you go alone. Where's Joe?
Oh, here I am. Here's my contribution to bringing Father home.
$25? Can Aunt March spare this much?
Oh, I couldn't bear to ask her.
Then where did you get it?
It's mine, honestly. I earned it and only sold it was my own.
Christopher Columbus!
Your hair, your beautiful hair.
Oh, you're one beauty.
Oh, I would have given you the money myself.
What made you do it?
Well, I was wild to do something for Father. I tried cashing the check that came in the mail this morning for one of my stories, but it was only $5. I hadn't the least idea of selling my hair at first, but I passed a barber's window and they had tails of hair with prices marked. One was selling for $40. So suddenly I found myself walking in and asking what they'd give for mine.
I don't see how you dare to do it.
Oh, Joe, thank you. I love you dearly for it.
Mrs. March, we must be getting on our way. Laurie's outside with the carriage and your train leaves soon.
Children, I leave you to Hannah's care. Hannah is faithfulness itself. Do not grieve or fret while I'm gone, but hope, keep busy, and remember that whatever happens, we can never be fatherless.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, Marmee.
God bless and keep us all.
It feels as though there's been an earthquake.
As if half the house is gone.
Hope and keep busy.
I find anxiety to be quite interesting.
Oh, Joe, what is it? Is it about Father?
No, not this time.
What is it then?
My hair!
Oh, Joe!
My mind is so agitated and... Wait to me again, Abigail. News from our girls brings so much comfort.
Our little girls are becoming little women.
I fear they won't even recognize me.
Oh, physically perhaps, yet you will see that each one of them has their own special way of expressing their love and concern. Hannah writes, Meg is taking her role as mistress of the house quite seriously. She sits at the head of the table, and Hannah has even taken to calling her Miss Margaret out of respect for her newly attained status. While Jo has not only sold another story, but she sought and secured employment at the Concord Lending Library. Beth is the one who keeps the home fires burning. Not only does she help Hannah with the daily chores, but we can trust our Beth to tend to any and all living creatures. And she tends not just our household, but has also taken upon herself to care for the poor Hummel family in my absence.
And Amy, the little ones always miss their mother the most.
Now this, I admit, took me by surprise. Amy has taken Jo's place as Aunt March's companion.
Why should that surprise you?
Because I thought Jo was impatient with the old soul, but really, truly, Joseph, I think your aunt has met her match with Miss Amelia Curtis March.
We should be very proud of our little women, all four of them.
Because all four of them are so very proud of their father, and would do anything to help you, from cutting their hair to following you into battle if they were allowed to fight in men's wars. Now rest. You've exerted yourself too much. Rest, and I will read to you from Isaiah.
What's the matter, Beth?
Oh, Meg, I do wish you'd go and see the Hummels. Mommy told us not to forget about them.
I'm too tired to go this afternoon.
Can't you, Jo?
No, I'm exhausted from being on my feet all day.
Why don't you go yourself?
I have, every day this week, but the baby just keeps getting sicker and... Oh, I really think Hannah ought to go.
I'll try to go tomorrow.
Have Hannah prepare a home remedy and take it over there, Beth. The air will do you good. I'd go, but I want to finish my story. And speaking of stories, Hannah has told me you have another letter. You're John Brooke.
Don't say my John. It isn't proper or true. He's there helping with father and mother, and anyway, you and Laurie can be friends, so...
Speak of the devil!
I have news. I've been accepted into Harvard.
Oh, we're so proud of you.
I'm so jealous. You'll come back knowing all sorts of things I'll never know. I wish I could go with you.
Oh, I wish you could go too. In fact, I wish you could take my place. Can't wait till I get my degree. I'm done with college and can get from underneath grandfather's thumb.
Oh, wouldn't it be fun if all the castles in the air we build in our dreams could come true? Oh, and we could live in them.
Oh, how good it is to be home. Oh, hello, Laurie. Jo, haven't you do it day in, day out catering to that old woman's whims?
At least she lets you paint to pass the time.
Teacups! She has me painting all her fine china teacups! I'm sick of painting peonies and petunias. I want to paint landscapes and sunsets
For
and...
college, you'll need these books I borrowed. Here's your British poetry collection, and, well, I could have sworn Tale of Two Cities was a 2-volume set.
I won't be taking all of Dickens to Harvard with me.
Laurie, you've been accepted to Harvard. Congratulations.
Only Laurie was just telling us that going to Harvard was not one of his castles in the air.
Oh, I've built so many in my mind. It'd be hard to choose.
If you did have to choose, which would it be?
Favorite castle? I'd be a musician and travel all throughout Europe.
Oh, I dream of traveling Europe too. All the art museums and the cathedrals and the symphonies, operas. Oh,
yours, Meg.
Well, I should like a lovely house filled with luxurious things, delicious food, pleasant people, beautiful clothes, and I should be mistress of it and manage it as I'd like. And I have plenty of servants, so I don't have to work a bit.
Do you have a master in this castle in the air?
I said I'd have pleasant people, didn't I? Joe, you'd have nothing but horses, inkstands, and novels in yours.
Oh, wouldn't I, though? I'd have a stable full of Arabian steeds, rooms piled with books. But I'd want to do something before I go to my castle in the air, something heroic or splendid that won't be forgotten.
Quite the ambitious, aren't we? We all want to be rich and famous. Wonder if any of us will get our wishes.
Well, I've got the key to my castle in the air, but whether or not I can unlock it remains to be seen.
I've got the key to mine. I'm just not allowed to use it. Hang college.
I haven't got any key.
Yes, you have.
Where?
In your face.
Nonsense. That's of no use.
Wait and see if it doesn't bring something worth having.
Christopher Columbus, what's the matter?
You've had scarlet fever, haven't you?
Years ago when Meg did. Amy hasn't. Why?
Oh, Joe. Joe, the baby's dead.
The Hummel baby?
Yes, he died in my lap.
Oh, how dreadful. I ought to have gone.
Oh, Meg, it wasn't dreadful. It was only sad. When I had arrived, little Lottie had told me that their mother had gone to fetch a doctor, for she knew the baby has gotten worse. And I sat there with him, and I waited, and I held it gently, and then I thought he was asleep at first, and then he started crying, and he gave a little shudder, and then he lay very still. And then I knew he was dead. Oh, and when she had arrived home with the doctor, he had looked at it, and of course he said it was dead, and then he turned to her and started scolding her, saying scarlet fever was a serious disease and that she should have come for him sooner. And then she tried to explain to him that she was poor and she could only hope that he could help the others and expect charity to pay for it. And then he turned to me very suddenly and he told me to go home and take some medicine or else I'd have the fever too.
No, you won't. If only Mother were here. I'll get Hannah. She knows all about sicknesses. Hannah!
Oh, Beth, I'm so sorry.
No.
Amy.
You'll be all right. Take good care of you.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Joe, go fetch the doctor just to take a look at you, dear. Amy, you're gonna go stay with Aunt March for a few weeks just to keep you out of harm's way. And Beth, we're gonna get you to bed. Come along, dear.
Don't cry, Amy.
Oh, but I don't want to be cast off to Aunt March's as if I was in the way.
It's to keep you well. Scarlet fever is no joke. I remember just barely surviving it myself. And you don't want to get sick now, do you?
No.
Now listen to what a jolly plan I've got. You'll go to Aunt March's and I'll come and take you out. Every day. We'll have a capital time. Doesn't that sound better than hanging around here?
But Aunt March is so very dull and cross.
It won't be dull with me popping in every day to tell you how Beth is. I'll take you off gallivanting. We can go walking or riding. And it'll be nice so the old lady doesn't peck at us, whatever we do.
Will you take me out in your carrots?
On my honor, gentleman.
Every single day?
See if I don't.
And bring me back the minute, Beth, as well?
The identical minute.
Well, I guess I could go.
Perfect. How's Beth?
She's laying in Mother's bed, and she says she feels better. What a trying world this is. No sooner do we get out of one trouble than down comes another.
Well, tell me if I should send a telegraph to Marmee or do anything.
That's what troubles me. I think we should tell Marmee if Beth really is ill, but Hannah says we mustn't. For Marmee can't leave Father, and it would only make them anxious to know.
What about Grandfather, after the doctor's been here?
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Marsh can leave her husband, she best be sent for.
Oh, what is it? Has Beth gotten worse?
Oh, yes, she is. She doesn't know us. She doesn't even look like my Beth. With mother and father both gone, God feels so far away. I can't find him.
I'm still here.
I know you are. But, Teddy, why do all the good and dear people have to die?
There. It's not like you to be forlorn. Mother will be home soon and everything will be all right.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have to send a telegram to the army hospital right away and...
No, Joe, I've already done it. Yesterday, on Grandfather's suggestion, I telegraphed your mother. John Brooke responded saying that they'd be here soon, and your mother will be home, and everything will be all right. Aren't you glad I've done it?
Oh, Laurie, I'm so glad. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, you are such a dear to do that in spite of Hannah. I couldn't help flying at you. Laurie, you're an angel. How can I ever thank you?
Fly me again. I would rather like it.
Mr. Laurie, you are the most interference chap I ever did know. But I forgive you, and I'm glad Miss March will be home soon.
Marmee.
Joe, fetch a basin of water, vinegar, and some rags. It'll help draw the fever down from her forehead.
Yes.
It's all right. Marmee's here.
Marmee?
Oh, heavens, you can't breathe.
My heart is so full of happiness. If only Father were home now.
When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses, blacks and bays, dapples and grays, a coach and 6 white horses. Hush-a-bye, don't you cry, go to sleep, little baby.
Megan,
You're more handsome than ever.
I remember when this hand was white and smooth, and your first care was to keep it so. It has only grown in beauty. A burn here and a blister there, and I can tell by these pricked fingers that this sewing will last a long time, and so much goodwill will come from it.
Oh, do say something kind to Joe. She's been ever so good to me.
Is that so? Well, despite the cropped hair, I don't see the son Joe I left behind to mind the woman. I see a young lady whose face has been worn down by watching and anxiety. I'm gonna miss my wild girl, but I'm glad the shearing has sobered our black sheep.
Thank you for bringing Father home.
My little Beth, I have you safe now, and I'll keep it so. Please, God.
Oh, Mr. Brooke.
Hello, Meg.
Please come in.
Well, I came for my umbrella. Thank you. That is to say, I came to see how your father finds himself.
Oh, it's very well. He's here in the corner. I mean, I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, Meg, please don't go. Are you scared of me, Meg?
Well, how could I be when you've been so kind to Father? I only wish I knew how to thank you for it.
Shall I tell you how?
Oh, no, please. I didn't mean...
Meg, do you care for me a little? I just love you so much that...
Mr. Brooke, I don't know.
Well, can you find out? For I can't go to work with any heart until I know whether I'm to have my reward in the end or not.
I'm too young.
I'll wait, and in the meantime, you could learn to like me. Would it be a hard lesson to learn?
No, not if I choose to learn
Please
it, but...
choose. Meg, please.
No, Please go away and let me be.
Do you really mean that?
Father says I needn't be worried about such things, and it's too soon. I'd rather not.
My aunt, I hope you'll change your mind by and by. I'll wait and say nothing until you've had more time. Meg, I didn't think that of you.
Don't think of me at all. I'd rather you wouldn't.
Bless me, what's this?
This is Father's friend, Aunt March. I'm so surprised to see you.
Well, that's obvious. But what is Father's friend doing to make you blush like a peony? There's mischief going on here, and I insist on knowing what it is.
I think I'll go check on your father now. Sorry.
Aunt March, Mr. Brooke came for his umbrella. We were merely talking.
Mr. Brooke, the Lawrence's boy's tutor? I know all about it. Jo blundered in a wrong message in one of her letters, and I made her tell me. Now tell me, have you gone and accepted him?
She might hear you. Shall I tell Mother you're here?
Not yet. I have something to say to you first. Do you mean to marry this crook? If you do, not one penny of my money goes to you. Remember that and be a sensible girl.
I will marry whom I please, Aunt March, and you can leave your money to anyone you like.
Highty-tighty. Is that the way you take my advice, miss? You'll be sorry for it by and by when you tried love in a cottage and found it a failure.
It can't be a worse one than some people have found in big houses.
Now, Meg, my dear, be reasonable. You ought to marry well and help your family. It's your duty to make a rich match, and it ought to be impressed upon you.
Mother and Father don't think so. They like John, even though he is poor.
Your parents, my dear, have no more worldly wisdom than a pair of babies.
I'm glad of it.
So this Rook is poor and hasn't any rich relations, has he?
No, but he has many warm friends.
Well, you can't live on friends. Try and see how cool they'll grow.
Mr. Lawrence is going to help him with his business.
That won't last long. James Lawrence is a crotchety old fellow and not to be depended upon. So, you intend on marrying a man without money, position, or business, and intend on working harder than you do now when you could be working for me and doing better?
I couldn't do better if I waited half my life. John is good and wise. He's got heaps of talent. He's willing to work. He's so energetic and brave. Everyone likes and respects him, and I'm proud to think he cares for me, although I'm so poor and young and silly.
The reason of his liking, I suspect, is because you have rich relations.
Aunt March, how dare you say such a thing? John is above such meanness, and I won't listen to you a minute more. My John wouldn't marry for money any more than I would, and I know I shall be with him because he loves me and I love...
Well, I wash my hands of this whole affair. You are a willful child and have lost more than you know by this piece of folly. Your Mr. Drook's friends will have to take care of you now. I am done with you forever.
Meg, I couldn't help but hearing. Thank you for defending me and for Aunt March for proving that you do love me. You do love me, don't you?
Yes, John.
I must go ask your father for your hand. Sister Jo, congratulate us.
Oh, Meg, how could you? What about your dream castle filled with luxurious things and plenty of servants?
I don't care.
Meg, Aunt March has just told me about your plans with John. Your father will be so pleased.
Well, what about you, Marmee? Are you pleased with the prospect of Meg marrying a man who is as poor as a church mouse?
I would rather Meg marry for love and be a poor man's wife than marry for riches and lose her self-respect.
Oh, Marmee.
My girls, I'm ambitious for you, but not for you to marry rich men because they are rich or to live in splendid houses that are not homes because love is lacking. My hope is to see my children happy.
Well, how can we be happy if our family is splitting up and falling apart?
We'll leave these things to time. For now, let's keep this home happy by being happy for each other. Jo.
I'm happy for you, Meg.
Really? Truly, Jo?
Really, truly.
We hope you guys are enjoying Little Woman.
Yeah,
Evidently, we have a wedding to get ready for, so we're going to give you guys a brief 15-minute intermission. That should be enough time to get ready for a wedding. Anyway, enjoy your 15-minute intermission. We'll be right back with the conclusion of Little Women.
There to have pledged their troth each to the other, I pronounce them man and wife. May God bless you and keep you and yours forever safe and sacred in the palm of his hand. Amen.
Oh, Meg, it's such a beautiful day. You must be so happy.
John and I couldn't be happier.
Though I do believe you'll be sorry for it. You, Mr. Brooke, have a treasure. See to it you deserve it.
What a capital wedding. John and Meg look so delightful together. They even seem to get a smile out of Aunt March. What's wrong?
Oh, Laurie, you can't know how hard it is for me to give up Meg.
You don't give her up. You only go halves.
Well, why can't we just stay as we are? It can never be the same again. I've lost my dearest friend forever.
You still got me. I'm not good for much, but I'll stand by you all the days of your life.
I know you will. You're always a great comfort to me, Laurie.
Joe,
No, Laurie. Please don't say what I think you're going to say.
I will, and the sooner I get it out, the better for both of us.
Say what you will then, and I'll listen.
I've loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. You've been so good to me. I've tried to show you, but you wouldn't let me.
I wanted to save you this. I thought you'd understand.
I knew you did, but girls are so odd. They say no and they mean yes, and drive a man out of his wits just for the fun of it.
I never wanted to make you care for me in that way.
You never made me do anything, Joe. I just hope you love me. Half good enough, though.
Oh, you are. You're a great deal too good for me. Well, I don't know why I can't love you as you want me to. I've tried, but I can't change the feeling, and, well, it would be a lie to say I do when I don't.
Really? Truly, Joe?
I don't believe it is the right sort of love. Laurie, I want to tell you something.
What is it?
You and I are not suited to each other because our quick tempers and strong wills would probably make us very miserable if we were so foolish as to...
No, it's to marry? No, Joe, if
no,
you love me,
I can't. I've tried and I failed, and I won't risk our friendship or happiness by an experiment. You'll see that I'm right by and by and thank me for it.
Be hanged if I do.
Yes, you will. You'll get over this after a while and find some lovely, accomplished girl who will adore you and make a fine wife for your fine home. I'm awkward and odd, and you'd be ashamed of me.
I would never be.
We should quarrel.
We would never quarrel.
We can't help it even now. And you'd like elegant society, and I wouldn't, and you'd hate my scribbling, and I couldn't get along without it. We should be unhappy and wish we hadn't done it. Oh, and everything would be horrid.
Anything else?
Nothing else. Except that I don't believe I shall ever marry. Happy as I am and love my liberty too well.
You think so now, but I know better. There'll come a time where you'll love someone, and you'll care for him, and you'll live and die for him, and I'll have to stand by and see it.
Perhaps, but it's selfish of you to keep asking me for what I can't give. I shall always be fond of you, very fond indeed, as a friend. But I'll never marry you, and the sooner you believe it, the better for both of us.
You'll be sorry, Josephine.
Oh, where are you going?
To the devil!
Oh, what is it, Joe? You're not still upset about Meg's marriage to John, are you?
No. Well, yes. But no. What's more than that now? I don't know how to say what I feel. I wish for so many things.
Go on. You may say anything to your mother. What are your wishes?
I long for something new. I'm restless and anxious to be doing and seeing more than I am, to move beyond my small affairs here in Concord. So, since I can be spared this summer, I should like to hop a little way. Try my wings?
Well, where would you hop?
To New York. At the wedding, there was one of Father's friends, Mrs. Kirk. She expressed her need for someone to be a governess and teach her children. I think I should suit if I tried.
I see.
It's not exactly going into service, Mother. Mrs. Kirk is a family friend, and she'd make things pleasant for me. It's honest work, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Nor I, but what about your writing?
I think the change will actually make it better. I shall see and hear new things. Oh, and even if I haven't much time there, I'll bring home new ideas that will be sure to improve my writing.
I've no doubt of that. But are these your only reasons for the sudden fancy?
No, Mother.
May I know of the others?
Well, I'm afraid that Laurie may be getting a bit too fond of me.
So then, you do not care for him in the way it is evident he cares for you.
Mercy, no!
I'm glad of that.
Why?
Because I do not think you're well suited to one another. As friends, you're very happy, and your frequent quarrels soon blow over. But I fear you would both rebel if you were wed for life. You're too much alike.
That's exactly as I felt. I don't think I'll ever be married like Meg or live what anyone else might call an ordinary life.
Oh, Joe, you have so many extraordinary gifts. How can you expect to live what anyone might call an ordinary life? You're ready to go and find a use for your talents. Go to New York and see what wonderful things come of it.
Thank you, Marmee.
I don't know what I shall do without my Joe.
I promise to write every day and come home for birthdays and holidays and whenever you and Father desire.
Oh, we don't have to worry about getting you back. We have to get you there first. I'll send a letter to Mrs. Kirk, and once Father agrees, we'll send you. Now, come, dear. It's been a long day.
Mrs. Kirk, bring Josephine into your pleasant home. Not run in the parlor.
There to be another boulder arriving here?
Yes, Professor Bear. The children are to have a new governess, so hopefully we can have a little peace and quiet, and you can actually get some work done in the parlor.
Oh, I don't mind. It's good to have children around in the house.
Only to be seen and not heard. Welcome, Josephine. I see you remember my daughters from Meg's wedding. Oh, and this is Professor Bear. Professor Bear, Miss Josephine March.
The pleasure is mine.
Professor?
Come with me, girls. It's time for your German lessons.
Well, there are some pleasant people around if you're feeling sociable and your evenings are free. My rooms are always open. Make yourself at home. Your room is small, but feel free to use the parlor here to read and write to your heart's content. Come to me if anything goes wrong and try to be as happy as you can.
Thank you, Mrs. Kirk.
You're welcome, Josephine. Oh, the tea. Come with me and I'll tell you more on where the girls are in their studies.
Excuse me, I was looking for Mr. Dashwood, the editor of the Weekly Volcano.
That's me. Make it quick. What do you want?
A friend of mine desired me to offer a story. Just an experiment, and they would be glad to write more, if this suits.
Not a first attempt, I take it.
No, sir. She has had some experience, and even got a prize.
Did she now? We got more of this sentimental romance and revenge than we know what to do with. We'll take it, but with a few alterations. It's too long. I made some marks and cuts to make it down to the right length.
Oh, but I thought I'd have a moral in my story. Have a few sinners repent?
People want to be amused, not preach at. Morals don't sell.
What about compensation?
We'll give $25 to this sort of thing. Pay when it comes out.
Very well. You can have it. Shall I tell my friend you'll take another story?
We'll look at it. Can't promise anything. And tell your friend to make it short and spicy.
I will,
and
sir.
no morals.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was not paying attention. Here, let me help you.
Oh, no, it's my fault. I should always be in such a hurry.
Is this a book manuscript?
Yes.
Oh dear, they got wet. We must try to save its pages as best we can. Come to Mrs. Cook's parlor. We can use my books to press the pages that way.
Thank you, Professor.
Bear, you know, I've known you for a writer since the first day Mrs. Cook introduced us.
How did you know?
I know many who claim the pen as their profession.
Did you bring all these books with you from Germany?
Yes, I had them shipped from Berlin when I was professor at university. I sold everything I had to come to America. Everything but my books.
May I?
Please, I could read Shakespeare's plays over and over again. Do you like the Bard of Avon?
Oh, yes, Macbeth is my favorite. Come thee, thick night, and pale thee in the dunnest smoke of hell. That my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of dark to cry, Hold! Hold! Oh.
Hold. You may use any or all of my books for anything at any time, for pressing pages or waxing eloquent.
Thank you, Professor. Oh, Milton, Paradise Lost. Some of these titles are so familiar. I'm reminded of home and family.
Do you miss your family?
Oh, yes, very much. Especially my sisters. And Laurie.
An aunt, perhaps? Or a favorite uncle?
No, he's a friend. Oh, Goethe! Oh, I adore Goethe. My father has a collection of all the German poets and translations.
How unusual.
Will you translate it for me? The passage you have marked on this page?
Yes. None but the lonely heart knows what I suffer. Alone and parted, from all joy, my senses fail. Burning fire devours me.
Senses fail, burning fire devours me. Oh, if only I could write something like that. Something splendid that would set other people's hearts on fire.
I think you will. Your passion for the written word is most evident. And New York is the perfect place for you to pursue your passion. So much inspiration from my own writing I find here. From the art museums and the galleries, the opera and the theater. Perhaps you would permit me to show you the sights and sounds of this great American city.
I would be obliged, Professor Bear. Dankeschön.
Bitte, auf Wiedersehen, Josephine.
Kitty, slow down. Why are you always in such a hurry?
I want to get done so we can play. I don't like to sew. Not me. Cross-stitching is my favorite.
Let me finish wording this final sentence and then we will play.
Oh, bother, I quit.
If you just learn to take your time like Minnie does. Well, all right. Minnie, bring your turtle. I have a friend for him in my sewing basket.
The bunny rabbit.
Yes, it's a rabbit. Kitty, would you like to make the bunny talk? I will tell you the story of the tortoise and the hare. A tortoise started a fuss with a rabbit. Which one of us would win in a race? Come, let's begin.
Come, let's begin.
Well, the rabbit thought this was a joke, but thus to the tortoise he spoke. All right, old creepy, let's go. But both of us already know I'm as fast as you are slow. As a racer, you'll soon be through. Pooh-pooh, I say.
Pooh-pooh.
Oh, Professor Bear.
Go on. I know this story too.
And the rabbit was gone, and soon out of sight.
File on inch by inch, the tortoise stomped, while the rabbit ran, he walked.
But this particular rabbit had long been in the habit of taking a nap in the hay at just this time of day. So it seemed to him best to lie down for a rest. Since no one was there to record it, he thought he could well afford it. His eyes had no sooner closed than he got sleepy and dozed.
While the rabbit was sleeping, the turtle came creeping, and creeping till he was the first to come in, panting, I win.
I win!
And the moral is,
slow and steady wins the race.
Girls, it's time to come inside and wash your hands and faces for tea.
Thank you. I win.
Oh, don't go, Miss Josephine. I have a surprise for you.
Opera tickets for me?
For us. That is, if you would do me the pleasure of accompanying me to see Aida tonight.
Yes.
Miss Josephine, you have visitors.
Visitors for me? Amy?
Oh, darling Joe!
I've missed you so much. Oh, you remember Mrs. Kirk and her daughters, Kitty and Minnie?
There goes a handful of trouble.
What brings you here? Oh, tell me everything. How are Marmee and Father and Meg and John? How's my Beth?
And how's your dear old Aunt March?
Sorry, Aunt March. It's good to see you. But to what do I owe this unexpected visit?
Amy and I are going to Europe.
Oh, Joe, I know you've always wanted to go abroad.
Well, maybe you can go another time. We would usually stay for a longer visit, but our ship leaves this afternoon. Amy, we must be going.
What, not before you tell me about Beth?
Very well.
Well, she's better, but still very weak, and she sleeps a lot. I'm afraid she doesn't have the energy like she used to.
Oh, my poor sweet Beth. And Laurie?
Didn't you see him when he was in town on his way to London?
Laurie was in New York? Oh, he didn't come to see me.
Well, you can't blame the man, can you? The way you sauntered off to the big city without saying goodbye to any of us. Shame on you.
Why is he going to London?
Well, his father's opening up a business branch that needs tending to, so Laurie went to go help him. He does say he's going to Italy on holiday. Maybe our paths will cross in Florence or Vienna!
Oh, imagine all the art you'll see.
Oh, I know, the Michelangelos and the Da Vinci's. Oh, it's an artist's dream.
Well, your castle in the air. You'll have to write to tell me all of your adventures.
Oh, I promise, Joe, I will.
Amy, you seem to forget that a handsome waiting cab costs money. That's the problem with people who don't know the value of $1. Here today, gone tomorrow. Goodbye, Josephine.
Oh, goodbye, Amy.
Oh, goodbye, Joe. I love you so.
I love you too. Travel safely and give my best to Laurie.
Oh, I will.
What's the matter, Josephine? Is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, please, don't pay any attention to me. It always seems to happen at once. Well, the idea of Aunt March taking Amy to Europe when she always promised she'd take me. And then Laurie. I can never get over Laurie.
Here, Laurie was your friend. Did something happen to him?
Yes.
Oh?
No, nothing's happened to him, but I'm afraid something's happened to me. Oh, he was in New York, and he didn't even come to see me.
What a fool he must be.
No, it's my fault. I thought that... Oh, who cares what I thought? I made a mess of it as I do everything.
Make us food, or else Mother will give us leftover porridge for lunch.
Poor girls.
Come, I can't rescue your friends, Josephine, but we can rescue these girls from... Oh, how does your children's song go? Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold. Peas porridge in a pot 5 days old.
Who is it?
Guess.
Laurie, is that really you? I thought you'd never come.
Well, I promised I'd spend Christmas with you in France. Painting, I see.
Ah, yes, France has such beautiful landscapes.
How's your family?
Well, Mother and Father are well, and Meg and John are expecting their baby any day now.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Beth?
Oh, I'm afraid she's doing very poor, Mother says. I always think I ought to go, but they say stay, so I do, for I shall never have a chance like this again.
I think you're right. It's a great comfort to know that you're happy and enjoying so much. I have a Christmas present for you, my dear.
Oh, how beautiful.
It isn't what it should be, but you've improved it.
Please don't.
I thought you liked that sort of thing.
Not from you. It's not natural.
Well, now that I've found you, at least let me spend some time with you. It's the American Christmas Ball happening tonight. We should go dancing together.
Well, maybe. A good many dances already spoken for.
Oh, and it was captured so much of your attention that must request an audience with the illustrious Amelia Curtis-March.
An old college friend of yours.
Fred Vaughn, is it? I hear rumors you two fancy each other. Part of me is surprised you aren't engaged already, but you'd say yes if you got down on one knee.
Very likely. Oh, well, he's rich, a gentleman, and has delightful manners.
Oh, I see. Queens of society can't get on without money.
Do you want to know what I honestly think of you?
Dying to be told.
I despise you.
Why?
Well, I hear rumors, too. You've been abroad 6 months, but done nothing but waste your time and money and disappoint your friends.
Isn't a fellow to have any pleasure for 4 dreadful years in college?
Well, you're none the better for it. With every chance of being good, useful, and happy, you're lazy, faulty, and miserable.
Strong language, mademoiselle.
If you like it, I'll go on.
Oh, please do. It is quite interesting.
Well, with money, talent, beauty...
Beauty?
Oh, you like that, don't you? Well, you can find nothing to do but dawdle, and instead of being the man you ought to be, you're only...
Shall I still see you this evening?
One dance.
I'll take it. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Did you like it?
Oh, yes, I enjoyed myself so much. Aida's final aria was so beautiful, it makes me want to forget writing and become a world-famous soprano.
Brava, brava. But I wonder if you'll ever make up your mind about your future. At the art museum, you suddenly want to become a sculptor. Next thing I know, you want to run away and join the circus.
Oh, true, I want to see and do it all. But for now, I can only live vicariously through the characters in other people's plays and stories. Which reminds me, I wanted to add a daughter to an Egyptian king. I can't seem to find my manuscript.
I have it. You left it behind last week in the garden.
You read my story?
Yes?
Did you like it? Please, Professor, your honest opinion.
It is well written. You have a good way with words.
Although, go on.
I do not understand why you write such unrealistic characters who find themselves trapped in such overdramatic plots with villains, murders, and thieves. It's gory. And that woman in your story.
The Countess?
I know hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but your Countess rages her revenge with so much spite and with no remorse at her own sins.
Well, all that I can get published are these sensation stories. If there's a demand for it, I don't see any harm in writing it.
There's a demand for whiskey, but I think you and I do not care to sell it. Do you even like writing these sensation stories?
Many respectable people make an honest living out of them.
Joe, a respectable writer like yourself could not be pleased with this trash. Could you show Mrs. Kirk, or Katie or Minnie, or your family these stories?
I'm sorry to disappoint such a literary critic.
Forgive me, I do not wish to offend.
No, it's not offense when it is the truth.
Joe, simple, true, and lovely stories offer the world so much more. I know you can offer so much more.
It's Beth. Marmee?
Joe!
I came as soon as I got your letter. How is she?
She refused to let us send for you any sooner. The doctor has been gone for the last time. Said there's nothing anyone can do for her.
Oh, Beth.
She'll want to know you're here.
Joe? Joe, you're home. Oh, only if Amy were here now, then our family would be together again.
Oh, she'll be home in the spring, and I'll have you well by then. Oh, my dear sweet mouse. Do get well.
I do, Joe. I really do. It's just that every day I seem to lose a little, and I fear I shall never gain it back. It's like the tide, Joe. When it turns, it goes slowly, but it can't be stopped.
No, it shall be stopped. I'll work and I'll pray, and I'll fight against it. God won't be so cruel as to take you from me.
I do feel stronger with you by my side, but if God wants me to be with him, Joe...
No, don't say such things. You frighten me.
Don't be afraid. Isn't that funny? Me saying that to you after all these years you've been saying it to me.
I love you so. Please don't leave. Don't leave your Joe.
I've never been known to express myself to anyone else but to you, and I don't think I should try now. The thing is, I never had a feeling it's intended that I live long. I never made plans for what I wanted to do when I grew up. I never wanted to marry and leave like you all did, but the hard thing is that I'm leaving all of you. Don't be afraid. I'm not. It's just that I'll be homesick for you all, even in heaven.
Dearest Amy, it brings me sorrow to tell you that our little mouse...
Amy,
Oh, Laurie, thank you for coming.
you dear soul. If only there was something I could say to comfort you.
You needn't say anything now. Beth is well and happy in heaven.
You think you've grieved yourself half sick? I'm going to take care of you and Aunt March.
You would do that for me?
Of course.
you dear child. We shall all miss the wee lamb.
A letter from Amy? How's Aunt March?
It doesn't seem that your Aunt March has long for this world, but I suspect that your Laurie has won your sister's heart. She writes, "It is so beautiful to be loved as Laurie loves me. He's sentimental, doesn't say much about it, but I see and feel it in all he does and says. It makes me so happy and so humble that I don't seem to be the same girl I was."
Oh, that's our cool, reserved, and worldly Amy. Well, truly, love does work miracles.
Does it pain you that your Laurie loves anyone else?
Oh, no, Marmee. Oh, you don't really think I could be so silly and selfish?
I can't help seeing that you are lonely. You've stopped your writing, and sometimes there's this hungry look in your eyes.
Mother, it's better as it is. I am glad about one thing. Amy learning to love Laurie. That's great. But you are right, and I care more to be loved now than when I went away.
I'm glad of that. It shows you're moving on. And for now, there are plenty of us here to love you until the best lover of all comes to give you your rewards.
Mothers are the best lover of all. Old maid, that's what I'm to be. A literary spinster with a pen for a spouse. A family of stories for children.
Ahoy there, men. What have we here?
Could it be a treasure, Captain?
Any letter from Father Girls?
Stop it, Amy. You're ruining my play.
Don't whistle, Joe. It's so boyish.
You must have gloves, or I won't go. My little book? Did you burn it?
No, Joe, you don't hate her. She's your sister.
Does anyone want to go ice skating?
$25. Can Aunt March spare this much?
Joe, your hair!
I've got a secret.
I couldn't do better if I waited half my life.
Ooh, highty-tighty.
Joe, congratulations! Sounds like our girls are becoming little women.
Teacups! She has me painting her teacups! The baby's dead!
You never made me do anything, Joe. I just hoped you'd love me.
You have a treasure, sir. See to it you deserve it.
How can you expect to live an ordinary life?
It's like the tide, Joe. When it turns, it goes silly, but it can't be stopped.
Simple, true, and lovely stories offer the world so much more.
Little Women by Josephine March. Oh, Laurie? Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, words cannot express my gladness. Oh, how are you and Amy?
Oh, we're great. My wife insisted on seeing the babies at Meg's.
You're what? You've gone and gotten married?
Guilty as charged, but I'll never do it again.
Mercy on us! You're actually married! What dreadful thing will you do next?
Characteristic, but not exactly complimentary congratulations.
Well, what can you expect when you take a person's breath away like that? Oh, Teddy.
How good it is to hear you say Teddy. You know, no one ever calls me that but you.
What does Amy call you?
My lord. Don't I look like the head of a household? Honestly, Joe, you should be treating me with more respect.
Well, how can I when the idea of you married and settled is so irresistibly funny? Now, start at the beginning and tell me how it all happened.
Well, I did it to please Amy.
Fib number 1. Amy did it to please you. Go on and tell the truth, if you can, sir.
Well, we planned on coming home with the Carols, but they changed their mind suddenly and wanted to stay in Europe. And I was going home with grandfather, but Amy's chaperone has such strange notions about guardians and such nonsense that I couldn't leave Amy all by herself, so I settled the difficulty by saying, "Let's get married."
How'd you ever get Aunt March to agree?
Well, there's irony in that part of the story. For Aunt March replied, "Over my dead body!" Then she up and died.
Theodore Lawrence!
She gave me her permission before she passed, And she left you the mansion at Plumfield with the only request that her ashes remain enshrined on the mantle in the great room.
Well, I did love the old lady in spite of her sharp tongue. Plumfield, it's a fine house. But back to you and your wife. Why didn't you write us?
We wanted to surprise you. Joe, dear, I'll never stop loving you, and I never will. It's just you and Amy have switched places in my heart, and it's better as it is. I can share my heart wholly between Sister Joe and wife Amy and love you both dearly. Believe me.
Oh, I'll believe it with all my heart. At last, we're all together.
Same old Joe, dropping tears one minute, laughing the next. What you thinking?
I was wondering how you and Amy got on.
Oh, like angels.
Oh, yes, of course, at first. But who rules?
We take turns.
I have no doubt of that.
Really has done wonders for our girls.
I've never seen them so happy.
Attention, everyone! Christmas has come early this year. My wife and I have presents for all of you. It gives me the great pleasure to give you the works of Amelia Curtis March. First to Mother and Father, a favorite from Madame Lawrence's scenic line. And next for our new parents.
Oh, John, look, for the baby's room.
We can hang them over the mantle.
Oh, Joe, I have something for you.
Oh? Oh, Amy. Oh, locket. Oh, with a tiny portrait of my Beth.
Oh, you like it? Really, truly, Joe?
Oh, really, truly.
Oh, well, I have to go find Marmee and ask her for that old photo of Aunt March. And I have to ask her what her opinion is on the curtains for the new house.
Miss Joe, there's a gentleman just here to see you.
Who was it?
He didn't give his name, but he said he didn't want to interrupt your family party, but he asked me to give you this.
Where did he go?
He said something about the train station. Miss Josephine, it's raining!
Friedrich! Oh, it's so pleasant to see you. Why didn't you come inside?
Forgive me. I saw you had Christmas party and did not wish to intrude.
Oh, only family. My sister and Laurie have just come back from Europe, and we are all very happy. What brings you here?
Some friends find for me a place at college.
To Concord? Oh, how splendid it will be to have you doing what you like, and to be able to see you more often.
I fear we shall not meet often. This place is at the West.
So far away.
I read your poem in the paper. 4 chests all in a row, dim with dust and worn with time.
Oh, it's very bad poetry.
No, Meg, smooth and fair. Joe, scratched and worn. Beth, the dust swept from the lid that bears her name. Joe, I felt your sorrow. I felt your heart. It was simple, true, and lovely. Heart's dearest, why are you sad?
Because you are going away.
That's so good, Joe. I have nothing but much love to give you. I came to see if you could care for it. Could you make a little place in your heart for old Fritz?
Oh, yes.
I could make a little spot for you under my umbrella for you. Oh, Joe, forgive me. I have nothing to give but a full heart in these empty hands.
Not empty now.
Thank you, one and all, and thank you, wonderful cast. Can we give them another round of applause, please? They did fantastic.